Hello, my name is Daniel Wilson. I've been a member here at Buffalo, and I play in the praise team. I'm here to share my testimony with you. This is my second take at it. I've thought about it and I decided I needed to try it again, and so here we are. I've made a couple notes, so I might look off to the side to look at some notes here and there, but other than that, I guess to start off, I was in a military family. My dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot. So my story will pick up in some places, and I've done a lot of moving throughout the story, but I'm not really going to highlight exactly where I lived or anything like that, because it's really not that important, but it is important that I did move around a lot. But I was saved at a really young age. I was 4 years old. I was at a small church, and I remember telling my dad I wanted to be saved, and we walked up to the front, and I was saved, baptized, and all that stuff, and as I got older, I wondered if that was real, because it had happened at such a young age. But by the end of the testimony, you'll know that it was real, that it did happen, and even at a young age, it was still powerful and life-altering. After I was saved, as I grew older, I did have a close relationship with God and with Jesus. I prayed often, and I talked to God often. But then, as I got older and started to finish up high school, and as I entered into college, I started having doubts and questioned my faith, questioned God, got really mad at God, just because of the way the world is, and I became jaded, and a lot of the education that I was receiving in college was against God, and I bought into it, and began just kind of living life the way that I wanted to, with no regard for anyone really. I was doing substance abuse, and I struggled with that and battled with that for 4 years or so, and all through college. And as I finished up college, I got a job immediately as a teacher and stopped everything. And that was a very hard transition in my life, and I became very lonely at that time, because I moved out from college, moved into my own place, began a career, and basically just put my life together as quickly as I could. And at that time, I began going to church, and I read the Bible. In 6 months, I read the whole Bible, and just started wanting to know the truth again, because I knew that there was a relationship there with Jesus when I was younger, and then it was gone, and then suddenly I had nothing else in my life, and realized that I wanted that relationship with Jesus again. I wanted to be on fire for God again, and really I needed God. I was so lonely. So I clearly remember I didn't pay for TV at the time, so the only channels that I got were these, like, the religious channels, and I was just really absorbed in it. And I remember, so after rejecting God for years and years, I remember demanding from God the things that I wanted in life. And I remember pacing up and down the halls in my house is so lonely and demanding from God, God, I want a family. God, I want a wife. I want these things. It says in your word that if we ask for it, we can have it. So I want it, and I want it now. And just the way that I was going about it, the way that I was demanding from God the things that I wanted in this life, the way that I was treating God, it's just so disrespectful the way that I went about that. And not only did the way that I was demanding, and not only did I want those things, but I wanted it instantly. And if I didn't get those things, I felt that life just wasn't worth living. So I actually battled with suicidal thoughts, and ended up having to go to the doctor for those thoughts. And in the course of that, was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and began medication. That period of my life, over the next 10 years of, changing the medicine every 3 months, adding some, taking some away, ended up with a large amount of medication. It is just insane looking back at the amount that I was on, because of my impatience with God and not being able to get things the way that I wanted them immediately. So what I didn't know is that when I was demanding those things from God, that God already had a plan in action. And he just needed me to stay alive long enough to see it. So I think that's where the medication came in. But not even 2 months after that prayer, I met Catherine, my wife now. And I didn't realize that the things that I was demanding took time to cultivate. I didn't realize that the best things in life took time to cultivate. I always just wanted it now. So over the course of it took 10 years, mine and Catherine's relationship grew enough, and I proposed, and we became married. And then years later, we have a child. And even after having the wife and the child, the things that I demanded from God, I was still on all of that medication, and I didn't realize the victory that God had brought into my life. I didn't realize that he had answered the prayer. And so I just felt this inkling to start coming off of this medication. And as I come off of the medicines, there's like 7 of them, one by one, my mind's becoming clearer, and I'm down to one medication now, and it's just such a small amount. It's almost done. But it just hits me, and this is the second time why I'm recording this testimony, because it didn't hit me. But God answered my prayer. And it took 10 years for it to happen the right way. And coming off of the medication and no more suicidal thoughts. And it's just, I can't believe, well, I believe it, but I can't believe that God loved me enough to walk me through all of that while I'm demanding from him what I think that I need from my life. And he give it to me anyway. And then me still not be grateful for it. And now to help me come off of that medication and to slowly open my eyes and say, look, I loved you this whole time. And I had this plan for you this whole time. And here's your family. And here's your mind back. Here's your life back. It's just amazing. It's just amazing.